pop-ups. You can also utilize Eventbrite. Sometimes has some great events that you can look for. You might even want to look like in local papers that might be in your area, or when you're out and about, sometimes there are different signs up that say vending opportunities in different places. Okay. Also, what you can do when you're vending, you can network with other vendors because many times they know where a next event is as well. So sometimes when I'm at a vendor event, I get to know the people that are around me, the other vendors, and I'll say, hey, well, how often do you vend? And, we exchange numbers, and that's a good way to get some leads as well. Okay. So any of those ways are how you can find the events. Now, there are some things you want to look for to help you qualify whether an event is good or not. Okay. So, one of the big things is cost does play a factor. Okay. So, when you all are looking for like vending events, if you see something like a flea market or something that's going to be $5 event, now y'all know our patches are not flea market quality. Okay. You don't want to go to a flea market. You probably don't typically want to go to like a craft show because that's people that's looking for like arts and crafts. You want to target maybe like some health and wellness events. You might even want to think about like a church event, and I'm going to give you some parameters around that too as well. Community events, like look for things where you think there will be people that may be interested in what we have. We're in the health and wellness space, so you do want to look for things that would trigger those kinds of things. Okay, so you want to be mindful. You might not want to be like at a nighttime event where they're dancing and drinking. People, that's going to throw it off. You have to do balance tests. So just some things you don't want to look for. Okay. So you want to make sure it's a quality event. Some of the things you might want to ask when you're at the event, first you want to look at, of course, the cost, but then you want to ask before you even pay. Ask the person who's hosting it, how long have you done this event before? Is this your first time doing this event? How many people are you expecting? Do they have to pay to get into the event? Because sometimes when people have to pay, if they had to pay a lot to get there, when they get there, they might not have any money to spend, or vice versa. You just never know. You have to know your audience. So you want to ask quality questions, okay? And you also want to ask things like, are there other health and wellness vendors there? There's likely not going to be another super patch person, but there has been a time or two when there's been more than one super patch person at an event. So be sure to clarify that there's not going to be any conflicts of another person with something similar as you. We know that there's other patch devices out there. So just ask those type of questions as well. You also may want to ask, how much time is it going to be for shopping? Because some events that they ask for vendors at, they have a lot of time. Say like you're doing a conference, right? They might only have like little intermissions, 15 minutes for people to come shop. Well, if you're only going to have two 15-minute breaks, that's a total of 30 minutes. Do you want to pay $100 for people only to have 30 minutes to come and shop with you, or you to share information about Super Patch? That would be a no for me, right? Sometimes they give you time to speak on the mic, right? To talk about what you have. So that would be a good event because y'all know we can get a few minutes to just say what we have. People will come over to the table. That draws people as well. Some other things you want to look for when you think about price is think about, I like to sell whole packs. I know some people like the sample packs. You have to be prepared and know your audience. From my experience and just all the vending I've done, packs do work better. Just sell whole packs. So you want to make sure you have a good price point for your patches, okay? And I don't know if Dr. Dunn wants me to go into that part of it, but have a good price point for your patches so that they can sell while you're at the event. You don't want to be standing there having to open up packs of patches. So if you did do an event and you wanted to do samples, already have your sample packs set up ahead of time. You know what I mean? So you're not digging while you're there. You want to have a helper to me. Like, I mean, if you have to do it by yourself, that's fine. But it's nice to have somebody, even for like bathroom breaks, if, maybe somebody to record. If you don't have somebody to record for you, make sure you always have your tripod. That's something you want to have. You want to make sure you have your mic at your vending event. So those are just some things that you want to have, but just make sure before you pay that money that you are really talking to the person that's hosting the event, because there have been a few scams here and there where people, were talking to somebody else. So ask the right questions. I like to actually speak to the person. So when they say just want to text, I say, well, can I call you so I can actually speak to the person? Okay. I almost got scammed for some money one time, but I was able to catch it because I was asking all the right questions ahead of time. But then once you get to the event, right, you want to make sure your table is set up nicely, okay? You want to make sure you have empty packs of patches for your patch display. You don't want people walking off with your patches. So, when you open your patches, cut them off neatly at the top. So when they're on your display table, they look good. You want to display. Some people have like the card display. Some people have to turn around. It doesn't matter what you have, but you want it to be able to be seen. So you want to raise that up off the table. You want to make sure you have your banners, of course, your tablecloth. Um, you need your stay in touch forms so that when people are coming over to your table, they can fill those out so you're able to follow up with them after the vending event. You also want to make sure you have multiple ways to pay, right? So if even if you haven't vended yet, my suggestion is, set up your Cash App, your Square, your Venmo, your Apple Pay, all the methods that you can think of that people can pay so that when you do have a vending event, you know, you are able to take all those payment methods. Also, y'all, you want to look professional at your vending event, okay? You want to have comfortable shoes on. You're going to be standing a long time. You might be outside. If you're outside, you probably need a tent. You want to make sure you have water to stay hydrated. My recommendation, what has worked well for me, usually when I'm going to vent, I have on some type of patch shirt. If it's cooler, I'll have on like a blazer on top of it to look professional, or if I'm inside, and then you just want to, some nice pants. I find that black works good, y'all. If you stick to black, you cannot go wrong on some black pants, a nice black patch shirt or whatever color you want, but I like the black ones. And then, a blazer and a nice pair of comfortable, clean shoe. Okay. No kind of slides where you're going to be uncomfortable, because guess what? You don't want to sit behind your table. You don't want to be looking down at your cell phone. You want to be standing up next to your table so that when people go by, you can make eye contact with them, talk to them. You want to be able to engage the person, because we have a product that requires engagement. If you're sitting behind the table, now you got to get up, you got to come around, and now the person don't walk past you. You lost people. So you want to have good eye contact while you're vending as well. You also want to make sure you have your price displayed. Like, what is your pricing? Have that available. Make it as simple as possible so it looks good, it's appealing to the eye, so people will stop at your table. But first and foremost, you want to be friendly. So if you know you're a person that maybe you might need to put your joy patch on, you might need to put all the patches on before you go vending. And y'all, I'm not being funny, but we have to be able to approach people in a good way. Some people are not going to be so friendly. So we have to make sure we're prepared for all types of people when you vend, because there's going to be different people. And then last but not least, and we can talk about it, y'all, if y'all have questions, y'all can reach out to me, or we can put some things probably in the group, I'm sure. Last but not least, y'all, make sure you're taking the videos, okay? Get the videos. And you need to make sure you're following up with the people. Follow up within 24 to 48 hours. Do not let your French fries get cold. As our coach tells us, Mrs. Moore, but cold French fries are nasty, okay? So if you don't follow up, you lost the person. The biggest thing with vending, yes, you want to make some money, but I'm telling y'all, the blessing is in those sheets, these stay in touch forms, so you can follow up and make sure you put little notes. So when you follow up with the person, you could say something to the person about what happened, okay? If it's a bigger event, sometimes you moving fast, but you want to make sure you have great follow up And you also want to make sure when you do follow up, you're friendly with the follow up because the fortune really isn't a follow up. And you might have to follow up a few times. We've heard the statistics from Mrs. Moore to make sure it transitions. So I know I talked fast, but I think I pretty much covered everything you wanted me to, Dr. Dunn. If it's something else you want me to add in, just let me know. But I hope that helped everybody.
Thank you, Mrs. Gordon. And you know what? She is right. I am super introverted. Okay. So I put on two joy patches and the peace patch, all the things when I go out and vend. Like it's not one of my favorites, but I do know that's where you get the most return. So I know that I have to do it. That's where you're in front of a lot of people at once. So thank you so much. There were a couple questions in the chat. We're going to go over price points later on. The stay in touch form, I'll make sure I get that to Natalie so she can put that in the boards app. However, in the boards app, in the section that we were going through the banners, there is a form in there that a person can fill out their name if you did a balance demo on them, if they sample any other patches, and if they're interested in the business. So that is there to print out to take with you to your events as well. And then someone asked, do we ask for permission to do the video? Now I don't. Some people may. When if I'm at a vendor event, it's usually like two or three of us. We know when we go to doing the balance demo, someone goes to start recording. And it's usually so much going on that a person really doesn't even notice. But then I say at the end, so we got your video. I'm gonna send it to your phone real quick, and that's how I get their number in my phone. So I don't usually ask for permission, but you know, it's probably polite too, but they're getting a free patch, so they can give us the video, right? All right. All right, awesome. So on
So
the
I could just add
smaller scale,
one more thing.
go ahead, Ms. Gordon. You trying to say something?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I was going to say if I could add one more thing. If you have a bigger event, you definitely need multiple people. And I will tell y'all too, one thing that I've learned just from being with Mrs. Moore at a lot of events, the bigger events do bring you quality people. I'm just saying you do get like some more quality people and some more quality leads when you have a more expensive event. It just happens that way because now you're dealing with people that are just of a higher caliber understand the importance of what we have because what we have, y'all, is not cheap. You know what I mean? And it is a great device. So you want to meet the right person who's willing to spend the money, if y'all understand what I'm saying. So that's why I say no flea markets, no little cheap places. You got to make sure you're in the right space so that you can convert them and really. And the most important thing, don't always think it's money. It's those leads in that video because once you have that video, guess what we can do? Go post it on social media and you might get other sales as well and other exposure.
Absolutely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Awesome. I want to go over really quickly, vending events can be pretty large, but on a smaller scale. So let's just say like our team here in Flint, Michigan, we rent out a space in our library, once or twice a month just for like more intimate meeting. And this can go along with home parties as well. Of course, you don't need big banners and all the easel boards and things like that. We can even keep it more simple when we have more intimate things. So I don't even do a tablecloth. Like I go in, I set up the patches. We kind of have a discussion about what they are. I play the 5 minute video that we play on our Monday night call. And then we do balance demos. We patch people who may be in pain. And then we answer questions if they have any. So even on a more intimate setting, you can even keep it a little smaller. So you can start there and work your way up to the bigger events. But me, I just say go on out there, do it all at once, vending and smaller events to get in front of different types of people. All right. Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Gordon. All right. So now we're going to bring up another young lady, and I'm just seeing her. She's always doing the balance demos on these strong men. Like they've been lifting and in the weight room and in the gyms. And I said, Courtney, I need you to come on here and tell us how you're getting into these gyms and what is your conversion rate and how are you getting them to be customers. So Miss Courtney Sapp, if let's put some fire in the chat for Miss Courtney.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Thank you for having me, Dr. Dunn. I so I want to kind of piggyback off of what Tedra said about capturing the video. So when I go to vending events, yes, I'm all about making the sales, doing that stuff, but I'm with her. The bigger reason that I'm there is for content. So I'm not going and working my business 7 days a week. I know everybody thinks I am, but I stay home with the grandbaby on Tuesdays and Thursdays all day. Sundays, I don't do anything either. While I'm at home, that content is constantly generating for me. So I see so many people out vending and doing stuff, but then they never post any videos after. I'm like, guys, that's the sauce right there. You have to post those videos. So when I go to gyms, we go to Hot Works, we go to iCryo, we go to med spas, go to Crunch, EOS Fitness, any places in your area. I mean, literally 5 miles down the road. I don't go in trying to sell them something. I go in and this is exactly what I say. I'm going to act like I'm approaching the desk. I have my patches in my hand and a flyer with all of them. And I go and I say, hi, my name's Courtney Sapp. I'm here for brand awareness. I have a patch that has zero ingredients. It's safe for everyone. We have them for sleep, for pain, for stress, for athletes, for focus, mood. So we're out just really talking about the patches and trying to get more people to know about them. I would love to do a quick minute and a half demo and let you feel what it does yourself. 99.9% of the time, they say, okay, yeah, let me feel it. Or they'll go, what do you mean a demo? And I'm like, it's a balanced demo. You can literally feel how the patch works before and after, just so that you know what I'm talking about. And then I go into the demo, but I always record it. I don't ask. I literally just have somebody there with me. I set my tripod, set my phone up, and I record the video. That demonstration right there is what gets you in the door because then they're like, whoa, what just happened? Right? It blows their mind. And I'll drop I have what I say word for word, and I'll make sure that I post it in here, or post it in a chat or something for everybody. So I don't, like I said, I don't lead with the business opportunity at all. But what that does for you right there is that demonstration opens the door, and you start asking questions. You say things like, "What'd you notice? How did your members would need something for sleep, for recovery, for stress, for athletic performance?" And then the next thing we always ask is, do you ever have vendors or pop-ups, where people can come in and demonstrate their product? 90, sometimes they ask you that before you even get finished. As soon as you get finished with the demo, they're like, can you come in and set up? And so that first visit is all about just getting myself in the front door. And then you get the manager's name. Who should I talk to about a vending event or coming and setting up if it doesn't? And that gets you in the door with these businesses. When I go, I mean, of course, I'm focused on selling patches and helping people, but mine is the content now. That's what you're after, because that pays you afterwards. And I always tag the business that I go into. I say, oh, I'm going to post it and tag you, and they're like, please, that kind of thing. So the whole strategy is to patch, record, and post. And that's what it is from all of these events. You want to capture their immediate reaction, and then you have to post it. I have somebody messaged me today and said she's been watching me for 3 months, and now she's like, okay, I've been watching. I see you doing this and it's amazing. Tell me how to help this person, this person, this person, because I'm going to buy patches. She went and bought $500 worth of patches, but she's been watching for 3 months. They are watching you. They want to see, is she going to be consistent? Are you doing this? And is everybody having the same reaction? So that's really how I convert my customers. I get lots of them from vending events, but even more online just from the content that I'm posting. One thing I kind of want to go over is how I post, because I see people posting all the time, but you're not your captions, your wording is not correct, if that makes sense. So the first 3 to 5 seconds are the most important. Go and clip that reaction. Like, I have people that'll say holy shit, or oh my god, or that's crazy. I capture that first 3 to 5 seconds, I grab it and I put it at the very front of my video. And that's what my title is. The words on my post will be holy shit, or oh my god, or that's crazy, that's insane. And I show those first, and it's usually 10 to 20 seconds, and then I put that at the front, and then I have the rest of my balance test on there, like from the beginning to the end. Because you have to make them stop. If they're scrolling and it's just you like saying, oh, stand here with your hands and fists by your side, they're like, okay, that's, I'm just going to keep going. But if they stop and hear somebody go, oh, holy crap, then they're like, wait, what's happening? So the next thing is to your actual wording. So that's a big one. You want it to sound like you. I see a lot of people just posting like, we have a drug-free wellness patch, get yours here, and that's it. I'm like, no, you have to explain what happened in that video. So my first line again is, oh my God, that's crazy. Or if they were super skeptical, I turned a skeptic into a believer. I talk about where I am. So if I'm at a gym, I always put the gym in the wording. What they said, and what made the moment funny or memorable. And then I put what I want them to do next. Comment demo if you want more info on the patches. That's your call to action. And then I always put save 30% here. And then I put my super patch website. And that's just in the regular caption wording, not on the screen, because you don't want to overdo that on the screen, but it's in your wording. So if they made a hilarious face, start it with that. Oh, look at their face. If they made you repeat the demonstration 3 times, I have some people that are like, no, do that again. No, do that again. No, do it again. And so I'm like, they made me do it not once, not twice, but 3 times. Work with your chat. Chat GPT does all of my captions, all of them. And then you want 5 relevant hashtags. If you're on Instagram, it'll only let you do 5. So I never do super patch because I don't want to waste my tags. I do a explore page. That is a big one. So hashtag explore page, hashtag viral videos. And then I do, if I'm at a gym, I always tag the gym or iCryo or Club Pilates. I hashtag them. And then I usually have some kind of athletic one, but that's because that's where I am. If you're wherever you're at, make those last 2 tags relevant to what the video is. I'm going to give you just a couple. So here's what I see people writing all the time. Here's another person trying our amazing product. Message me for details. And then they put their information in there. That's not going to grab anybody's attention. Okay. So here's an example of a couple of mine. So I did a balance demo on a former NFL player. And I said, when a former NFL linebacker is really trying not to move, Brian Cushing looked at me and said, I'm trying. And I said, I know. After feeling the difference with victory, his response was, that was really interesting, but it didn't stop with the demo. Brian tried peace and rim and told me some of our partners he slept noticeably better. The demonstration gets their attention. Experiencing the patches for themselves is what tells the rest of the story. Want more information? Comment demo or send me a message. Save 30% here and then my hashtags. So you have to make it a little longer and a little more interesting. I'll drop some of these in either a chat or in here so that people can kind of see what I say. I have one that was really funny because a girl, as soon as she felt it, she looks at me, she goes, shut up. And so my caption for that one said, the look she gave me when she felt the difference. Shut up. Gym 1 reactions never disappoint. She felt the first test. I applied the patch. And the second she felt the change, her entire face said everything before the words even came out. So it's got to be a little more interesting and funny. Um, I take that one weekend and that's my content for the whole week. I don't post everything that day. I might post 2 videos from that event that day. And then the next day I post 2 more. And then the next day, 2 more. And so I don't think you need to get one good video. I want you to think, how many good reactions can I capture? Can I record your setup while you're there? Um, Introduce the location. As I'm walking in, I'm recording as I'm opening their door, with their signage on the door. And I film the whole area. That makes the gyms or med spas or venues want you to come back. I mean, I have them begging me to come now to gyms. They're like, are you coming this week? I'm like, yes, I'm coming. And we pay $0. If you can interview somebody, a trainer, the owner, why did they have you come? I mean, they're begging for us to come out there. So get them on camera, get a customer testimonial, explain a patch while you're standing there if you have nobody, just have your camera going. And so, that's all the things I want you to really think about and not just capturing one good video. I know everybody's like, if I could have one video go viral, it's going to be great. I don't have a video going viral right now. I have a bunch of little videos. I mean, I have a lot of them at like 10,000, 12,000, 20,000, but I post 12 times a day. So the way I convert people, this is real important because your content's going to get attention, but conversation creates your conversion. When somebody comments or messages me, I spend usually an hour, hour and a half in the morning going over my comments and my messages. But a lot of times I send voice clips because they don't think you're a real person. They think you're using a bot because a lot of people use mini chat and things like that to answer, right? And my mini chat does go off. But if somebody specifically messages me in my DMs, then I respond to them with a voice clip a lot of times. And they always say, oh my gosh, you're a real person. And I'm like, yeah, I am. And I'm still answering all my messages. And they love that. And don't stop at the first thing somebody asks for. I get this one a bunch. I need more energy. They'll be like, when I say, tell me, what you need help with. And it's always, I want more energy. I'm fatigued, da, da, da. Well, that opens the door for me. I'm not going to say boost immediately. I always say, okay, let me ask you some questions. How do you sleep? Do you have trouble going to sleep, staying asleep, or both? Because if their energy is low, if they're not sleeping, that boost patch isn't going to, it's going to help them, of course, a little bit, but they're not going to get out of that cycle. So ask them questions. When they say, I have pain. Okay, what kind of pain? Where is it? How long have you had it? That conversation really creates that trust and that bond with somebody that you're not just trying to sell something to them. Same thing with stress and mood. Okay, I get a lot of anxiety people. So yes, they might have anxiety, but are they overthinkers? Do they have racing thoughts? Then you want to add kick it to that. You want to do peace and kick it. So just respond like you're talking to somebody. You're just having a conversation about it. And don't send your link too soon. I don't send my link as soon as they message me. I'm not like, here's my link. I ask the questions, we have a conversation, and then I say, here you go. When you get them, message me, and I'm happy to help with placement. And they're like, wow, you mean even after you're gonna still talk to me after I've bought? So and that's how I get my customer testimonies back. If you see on any of my stories, I always have like stuff people are sending me in my messages. And that's because I'm having that conversation after and they're all repurchasing. So for every event, you always want to promote the event wherever you're going, push that out, tag the location. And like Tedra said, make sure you have all your samples prepared. Make sure your phone is charged and you have enough storage. I've gotten to an event before and my phone's been like, nope, you have no storage. And I'm like, oh no, we got to fix that. So something that I did, I took an old phone. We all upgraded our phones in our home, and a lot of people have old phones sitting around. Literally, I wiped that phone clean, the old one, and that is my phone to record on. I can keep it set up on my tripod, and I still have my phone available in case I have any issues. Um, and that's the one that records, and then I just transfer those videos to my regular phone for editing later, and it doesn't take up quite as much space. Um, Collect your content information, your contact information for people, tell them exactly how to order, record more content than you think you need. I record every person that comes up, every single person. I do not skip a person. So if I have 25 people that day, I have 25 recordings at the end of the day. Post consistently. That's a big thing. You have to post. If you can't do it 12 times a day, do it 4 times a day to start with, 5 times a day. And then make sure that you're answering people and following up. Follow up is golden, just like Tedra said. It doesn't just take one time. Sometimes it takes 2, 3, 4 follow-ups. But like I said, people are constantly asking or saying that they've been watching me a long time. I'm getting that a lot lately. So you don't have to wait for somebody to invite you to their gym. That's why I go to them. So don't be scared. Put on a joy and a peace patch and just go in there and do it. Because I mean, my book that I wrote says do it scared. You're gonna have to do it scared. If you don't take that first step, it's not gonna happen. The confidence isn't gonna come first. Once you do it, you're going to be like, oh gosh, that was better than I thought it was. You can ask Nicole. She's been out doing them. I took her out with me a couple of times, and now her and her husband are going out everywhere. They went to Hot Works yesterday and already have a pop-up for Tuesday next week because they love the patches so much. And she just walked in and said exactly what I said and did. So it's going to feel awkward the first time, but just push through it. Yeah, your heart's going to be in your throat. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, can I do this? But what are they going to do? Say no? Okay, thanks. And you turn around and go to the next one. So patch the person, make sure you're recording, make sure you're posting, make sure that your first 3-5 seconds are the best part of your video. And I promise it'll start taking off for you. And I'm going to drop all that stuff in here. I'll drop like my captions and what I say. And I'll also make sure that I send it to Dr. Dunn so she can put it in her chat. I'll make sure it's in other chats so that everybody can get it.
Thank you so much. Let's put some fire in the chat for Miss Courtney Sapp. I've got so many notes. That was so good. So good. Okay, great. So with all that being said, we want to talk money, right? Just a little bit. Now, I am not telling you guys what to charge for your patches. This is your own independent business, right? You guys can set the price that you need to for your market, but just be aware that our website is at $70 a pack, 69, what if you want to get all technical. So we're not trying to charge $45, $50 for a pack, right? But also we're not trying to charge $100, $150 for a pack. Because again, when they go to your website and they say, oh, this is only $70 here, you want to have good integrity. We don't want the customer to come back and say, why did you overcharge me this much, right? So this is what I do. So you do what you guys want to do. But what I do at my events, and I call it show price. So they know this is not the price when they go to my website. This is because you're here at the event, because I'm talking to you now. This is what the price is. So I do $65 per pack, and then I do like 3 for $50. All right. Just so that I know everyone needs at least 4, right? So I want to make sure they get at least 3 in their hand. And that just makes it seem like they're getting a good deal, $50 a pack. And guys, that's okay. We're buying Flex 20s, Flex 40s. We're only paying $36, $37 per pack when you break it down anyway. So you are going to get your retail. All right. So that's what I do. A lot of times. So, and this is a good topic to bring this up. We got 11 days left in the month, right? And some of us may be looking for ranks. Some of us need to go in and see what our volume is, right? We're supposed to be checking our back office every day to see what our volumes are, looking down in our organizations, who's close to hitting a new rank for the first time, right? How you can do that is retailing your product. Yes, we want people to go to our website and order, but sometimes we got to take matters in our own hands, right? Sometimes we got to get a Flex 20, Flex 40, and go retail those patches off so that we can keep reordering and getting the volume in. So toward the end of the month, I like to do like a buy 3, get 1 free type deal, maybe a buy 2, get 1 free type deal, whatever you're more comfortable with. If I know I need to put some volume in quickly, then I'll do a buy 2, get 1 free so that I can collect that money faster. So this is not something that's done in your back office. That is something that you will have to personally control. So this is from your own inventory, from your own stash. If you collect their order, that means you have to ship them the patches. So make sure that you include shipping price as well. All right. So yes. So at events, I do 65 a pack, 3 for 150. And if you don't have inventory and you want to be able to put a lot of volume in quickly, you can pre-order. People are used to ordering things online and waiting for it to get delivered. And you're no different. So you can pre-order and say, I'm making a huge order this weekend. Do you want yours included with that? So you can collect the money over a few days and then put the order in. So pre-ordering is just fine. All right, this has been amazing. Do we have any last minute questions? And I think Courtney, there was a question for you. They says, do you edit on your phone that you do the recordings on, or do you transfer it to your updated phone?
I transfer it to my regular phone because I go through and pick out my videos, and then I'm like, oh, I want that one. So I just airdrop it and then I edit it on Vixer. I use Vixer as my editor. It's super user friendly, very easy. And yes, I still have Wi-Fi on the old phone, I believe. So I
Okay.
do still have that. Can y'all see my captions that I dropped in the chat? It told me it wouldn't.
Um, I thought I saw it. Let me
Okay,
see.
I couldn't tell.
Yes, I do
Okay, they
see it.
said
And
yes. They're
yep,
there.
and
Okay, good.
everyone at the bottom of the chat or at the top of the chat, bottom somewhere, there's some 3 dots. If you click that and it'll ask you if you want to save the chat, you'll be able to get the whole transcript of the chat. So even when you get off, that will be saved into your computer so that you have it. Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is all that we have for you today. I thank you so much, Miss Tedra, Miss Courtney, for your wonderful insights. I took lots of notes. We want to make sure that we remember Jonathan Bryan has a balance demo contest going on. All right. So every time you do a balance demo, you want to upload your video into his group and make sure that you say the dates that you're doing the video in the video. All right. Writing the date on the video does not count. So if before that question gets asked, that does not count. You have to say the dates in the video for it to count. All right. He's giving away some awesome prizes, including 3 prizes for $500 each. So we can get excited about that. All right. But I'll take that TG7 and I'll take that Liberty patch. I'll take all the prizes. All right, awesome. And then let me see what else we've got. Mr. J Dollywall is doing a leadership getaway contest. So I believe we got an email about that yesterday or the day before. So we want to make sure that we are working hard to get to New Orleans the first week of December. And I believe that is all. So I thank you guys for getting on with us this evening. We will be On Nina's Zoom Monday night for our opportunity call, Vision Mastery call at 8 p.m. And then we'll be right back here on this line next Thursday at 8 p.m. for another team call. All right, please repeat how to save chat. So
I
it is at
was
the, you
just
should
gonna say,
see.
yeah, they're having
Mhm.
issues. Click the three dots at the top and save chat. I have it actually pulled up. It's super easy, y'all.
Yep. And it's going to save right in your documents in your folder. Can you do it on the phone? You can't do it on the phone, but if you're on your phone, you can find her scripts and copy and paste it in your notes. But again, she's going to get this out. It's going to be in all the chats. Everybody's going to have it in a quick sec. Okay, awesome. All right. Love you, ladies and gentlemen that's on the line. But I get some more gentlemen. Chris, are we working on that? Getting some more gentlemen. All right. All right, DJ Chris, go
Because I
ahead
was
and
finna
play us
say,
out.
ladies.
We will see you guys later.
We need some more guys in here. Come on, y'all. Get over there. We're going to see y'all next Thursday, all right? Next Thursday training. Monday for the Vision Mastery call and all the calls and all the things. Get your videos. We want to see y'all soon. Y'all have a good one. We love you.